Hello, I'm Adriana. I'm a Master SoulPath Teacher and Guide. Today with a message for Gemini energy. So if you are Sun, Moon, Rising in Gemini, or you just happen to have a lot of Gemini placements, this reading will have a message for you. I do not know if it's going to be kind of a bigger picture, more esoteric reading, or a more specific, practical kind of reading. I'm leaving that up to my guides. So we're just going to see what comes through for you. Okay. Judgment, Five of Water, Queen of Fire. Interesting. And spiritual theme, the Tower. Okay, well, this is a big one, Gemini. Okay, the Tower. The Tower comes when the foundation we're standing on isn't stable enough anymore, isn't true to us. It's like we've been going along, but all of a sudden something just doesn't resonate, or something in our life isn't right. And a lot of times it's what you've been believing about yourself or believing about your situation, and then all of a sudden it's like the truth comes out and everything falls apart. The Tower is a restructuring of your life. The Tower is a sometimes very devastating, sometimes very chaotic restructuring, but the point is that it's breaking down in order to build up. It's not just breaking down to destroy forever. It's breaking down to be rebuilt with true foundations, with true love, with true truth, with correct belief. Okay, so it's not always an easy process to go through, but it's something you can't ignore. And Gemini, I do feel like you have been ignoring. We've got Judgment facing off with the Five of Water, but on the other side of that, we've got the Queen of Fire. And the Queen of Fire is like, she's boosting up. There's kind of double message going on here. I'm going to read this two ways. On one hand, the Queen of Fire is that cheerleader energy where she just wants everything to be good and positive, and she wants you to keep going, and she's encouraging. I feel like either you've been doing that for yourself, or someone outside you has been spurring you to stay in that really positive state, or to try to stay in that positive state. But there's an element of sadness that really needs to be dealt with. There's an element of loss that really needs to be dealt with, because the Judgment card is really, to me, connected to the Tower. They're both destructive kind of energies, but Judgment is trying to figure out how to rise above and forgive. Okay, and that seems to be at the basis of what this Tower is about for you, is forgiveness. And forgiveness starts with forgiving yourself. Forgiving yourself for being hurt in the first place. So a lot of times we jump to forgiving the other person, especially if it's a small thing and you're just, I'm sorry, that's okay, I accept your apology. But really, for the big things, the big devastations, the big sadnesses, the big tragedies, forgiveness has to start with the self, because you took a risk somewhere and you got hurt, or you got disappointed, or your expectations weren't met. And in order for you to want to do that again, because we're not meant to stay in one place, we're meant to keep expanding, you have to heal that. You have to heal that disappointment. You have to heal that bitterness first. And that starts with apologizing to yourself and forgiving yourself. From then, you can then release the other. Okay, where people go wrong with forgiveness is that they think they have to forgive the other. And that requires a certain response to come back at you from the other for then the situation to be released. But that often doesn't happen because the other person is processing at their own space. They have perceived the situation with their own belief system, their own filter, and so they just may not see it the same way. They may see that it's important for you to hear the words, I'm sorry. They may see all that, but there's little they can do to create the true healing. So the true healing for you is really going in there, acknowledging that sadness, acknowledging that hurt and disappointment, forgiving yourself so that you can rise above it. And then here is the other way I was going to read this reading. The Five of Wands is, the Five of Cups in the middle is actually blocking the Judgment from getting to the Queen of Wands. So you're blocking your own power to resolve this situation by hanging on to this sadness, okay? By hanging on to that disappointment and that abandonment. The Queen of Fire wants you to feel in your power, to feel that true sense of buoyancy and optimism and vitality, and to get back to your power, to get back to your own magnetism, to get back to your own sense of self, to get back to you. But this healing, this needs to take place first, and I think the Tower is coming in to really catalyze that for you. Now, what form the Tower is going to take for you, I'm not sure. For some, it's going to be someone says something and the floodgates come out, or there's an explosion, an argument where all of a sudden this truth comes to light. But I want you to keep in mind that at the bottom of the Tower, the key to turning that Tower around is this self-forgiveness and sitting still long enough to do that, Gemini. Sitting inward long enough to do that. Okay. I'm going to close the reading there. Thank you so much for joining me. And if you're looking for extended guidance or deeper guidance, or to get really more into exploring the spiritual principles behind the way we live, please check out my website, soulguidancewithAdriana.com. I am here to be of service to those who want to grow. And if that's you and this resonates, please do see if there's something that I can help you with, because I know it's hard to work on your own, and with the help of someone else, things just go faster. And you get a deeper, richer experience that way. So I'll look forward to seeing you soon, and have a good one, Gemini.